Lastly, blood pool B was a splash that was 17 centimeters in size in a downward direction. The dripping came from the head of Rebecca Smith.
Hello, my name is Jack Munn, and I am an expert witness on this case regarding hair. There are many hairs found throughout the crime scene that can help piece together what happened to the Smiths, and I'm going to be analyzing each one. The first hair evidence found at the scene was found on the East Room window and is believed to belong to Alexander Smith, the owner of the home. The hair found was a straight gray hair with a fragmented amorphous medulla, which perfectly matched Mr. Smith's. Mr. Smith's hair was also found on the other side of the crime scene at the money chest, which we were able to trace back to not only his DNA, but also the family dog's. There was also another hair found on the East Room window, and it belonged to Anton Geisler, who worked on the farm around the Smiths' home, and the East Room window is where we assume the murderer entered the house and exited. We were able to tell this hair is Anton's because the hair had a matching continuous and amorphous medulla, which was also straight and blonde, just like Anton's. The next hair evidence that we found was on the tea table in the front room and was also on the ground near the tea table. The two hairs found here were drawn back to Rebecca Smith and Marianne Abbott. Both hairs perfectly match Miss Smith's and Miss Abbott's hair perfectly and have identical medulla and scale patterns to the two respective subjects. We believe these hairs were left at the scene after the two had had tea before the crime had taken place. And the last evidence we collected was found on the front porch of the Smiths' home and are believed to have been left by Francis Curran and Henry Bauer. Francis Curran was the local peddler who was just stopping by at the Smith's house to make his daily rounds, which explains how his hair ended up on the front porch. Also, there was Henry Bauer, who was the Smith's farmhand and worked alongside Anton Geisler, which also explains why his evidence would be found on the front porch. The medulla patterns and the scale patterns and color of the two hairs match up with their respective hair at the crime scene, and we can successfully say it was those two. From the evidence that we collected, we believe that the murderer is Anton Geisler, based on the fact that his hair was found where the murderer entered and exited the home, and it was only him and Mr. Smith's DNA which was found there, and obviously it was not Mr. Smith. So Anton Geisler is our main suspect.
Hi, my name is Mary Ann Abbott.
Where were you the day of the murder?
I left the house Saturday morning to go visit my mother at home.
What day did you come home?
I came home on Monday morning, the time I normally report for work as usual.
What is your relationship with the Smiths?
I am Mrs. Smith's niece.
Do you help the Smiths out a lot?
Indeed, I do. I cook, clean, and take care of the elderly couple. They employed me to manage the house.
Do you live at home or with the Smiths?
I live in a bedroom upstairs in the farmhouse.
My name is Francis Curran.
What is your current occupation?
I work as a peddler in Long Island, and I've been selling goods to the Old Fields community for about 3 years.
What were you doing on Sunday, the day of the murder?
I was just doing my normal rounds in the Old Fields community, and I stopped by their house and sold farm supplies to them.
Did you ever have any issues while selling to the Smiths?
No, Mr. and Mrs. Smith were always generally pretty nice. I never had any issues selling to them.
Why were you seen passing the Smiths' house at the time they were murdered?
I went back again Sunday to see if any more of the people in the Old Fields community needed any more goods or supplies, but when I knocked on the Smith's door, no one answered, so I continued throughout the neighborhood.
State your name.
My name is Anton Geisler.
Where are you from?
I am from Germany.
Where do you live now?
I live on the second floor of the farmhouse.
How do you know the Smith family?
I know the Smiths because I'm a farmhand for them.
How is your relationship with the Smiths?
Mr. Smith and I got along very well for the first month.
Have you and Mr. Smith ever gone in any arguments?
Mr. Smith and I don't get in many arguments, but sometimes he makes fun of my accent, and that makes me very angry and frustrated.
State your name.
I'm Henry Bauer.
What is your relationship with the Smith family?
I'm a farm help on the Smiths family farm.
How is your relationship with the Smiths?
We get along very well, and I enjoy working for the Smiths.
Do you live inside the house?
Yes, we live on the second story. The Smiths are generous enough to give us that space to live while we work on the house.
Were you the one who killed Mr. Smith?
No, I would never kill Mr. Smith. He was a great boss. But I do think it might have been Anton. He's been a little bit suspicious lately. But no, it's not me. I would have never have done something like that.